Pokemon Leaf Green randomized Nuzlocke, here are the rules, let's begin.
Do you like what you see?
This time we get our start immediately, and they are Wurmple, Sunkern, and I guess we're taking the third option, Dr. Rio, named Bill Gates. Right after that our rival wants to fight, and honestly if I saw that damn thing in my living room, I'd stomp on it until it was a small brown stain. Next I go to Viridian City to get Oak's Parcel. Then we get Pokeballs, and my first catch is a Tropius named Mango 2. Holy shit, it has stick fat. That's actually like an amazing ability for it. Then I caught an Arbok called Square on Route 22, and on Route 2 I found a fucking Lugia, and I only had like 3 Pokeballs, so RIP. In the forest I found a Teddy Ursa named Berber, who I then violently threw in the box. I then fought my rival. I was kinda scared, but he just ended up having a Halpip and a Sunkern. Then I made my way through the forest and arrived in Pewter City, where I took Mango and Square to fight Brock. And Mango just swept, so yeah, that was the first badge. After that I made my way to Mount Moon. On the way I caught a Bellossom named Salad, and in Mount Moon a Farfetch named Stick. There were some rocket grunts there I guess, but I just kinda steamrolled my way through the cave until I was in Cerulean City, where I caught a fucking Kingdra named Shrimp. Then I fought my shithead rival again and destroyed him. He's just getting the worst fucking Pokemon. After that, some guy tried to invite me to Team Rocket, but I said no, because I don't associate with dumb shits. I caught a Sharpedo named Television. I accidentally killed my other encounter. Then this Regirock decided to go nuclear on my Shrimp, and the bastard didn't even kill. I stole some guys as a sand ticket or some shit. After that, I went to Misty's gym with Shrimp and Mango. Now, admittedly, I am a bit overleveled, but you know, it's a randomizer, and I'm kinda scared after the whole Regirock incident, but luckily Misty ends up being a fucking joke, and I get my second badge. On Route 5 I catch a Kingler called Pizza, and on Route 6 I found a Butterfree who didn't want to go in the ball, so I gave it what it fucking wanted. Then I found a Magikarp named Hiccup, and holy shit, it has Spear Power. That is extremely fucking good. Also, I decided to check some of my other abilities here, and found out that my Farfetch'd has Truant. So yeah, he's definitely gonna come in handy at some point. After that, it's ship time. I fucked up a pretty nice amount of trainers there, then my rival also wanted to get fucked up, so I did just so. The staff didn't enjoy the amount of fucking up that was going on, so they kicked me out. Now, I had to fuck up somebody, so I went to the gym with Mango, Shrimp and Bill Gates. And well, I'm kinda starting to notice a trend here, because Surge got pretty heavily had. That was the third gym. After that, I started going towards Rock Tunnel, and my encounter is... Oh Jesus fucking Christ, he's back. Now this isn't just Ham 2, no, this is Ham Deluxe. Like, we don't even have to go through the imperfect and semi-perfect stages, we get the real thing straight up. After the second coming of Jesus, I went to Rock Tunnel, which I somehow completed perfectly without getting lost, even though I didn't even use a guide. Now we're in Creepypasta Town. Also, on the way there I got a Gligar named Parachute, and I fucked up my Rock Tunnel encounter, but those are kind of unimportant when we got fucking Ham. My rival wanted to get destroyed again, and this time he actually had a fucking Groudon, but it didn't really make any difference. Then I made my way to Saladon, and on the way I caught a Hypno named Tuba, Roselia named Ree, and a Feebas named Tube. In Saladon I fucked up a pretty moderate amount of Team Rocket downshits until their leader appeared, and I arched the fuck out of him. He got fucking smoked. It was somewhere around here that I realized that I'm kinda OP and decided to nerf myself by putting the game on set, so I don't get a preview of what the enemy is gonna send out. After the whole Team Rocket massacre, I beat up some dead Pokemon and some leftover Rocket Grunts in Lavender Tower. And then I went to Silphco in Saffron City to get the whole Team Rocket filler arc over with. I basically just ran around fucking up everyone I saw until I came across a familiar shithead. My rival. His first 2 months were no problem, but then I found out he was not fucking around. He brought a fucking Mewtwo, and at this point I was running very low on healing items, but I managed to just barely beat it with Mango and Shrimp. After that, he just had his... So yeah, my Pokemon were all on low HP and Ham was sleeping. And again, I had like 3 super potions and no full heals. Some fucko gave me a Banette named Zack, and then this fucking cheap ass rocket dumb shit jumped me, and he sends out a fucking Kyogre. Square just barely managed to para-flinch it to death, but it came very fucking close. Then he sends out a Furret, and I swap into my only member with any HP, Bill Gates. Bill Gates tanks the hit pretty well, but the fucker lands Furious Vibes 5 times and one of them was a crit. F in the comments for Bill Gates, he fought well. After that I used 2 of my 3 super potions on Shrimp, and she finished the job. After that I remembered there's actually a bed close by where I can heal my team, so I went to look for it. And just before I got there another rocket jumped me. I thought it was the end, but an Ether on Shrimp meant I could spam the fuck out of Dragon Breath, and eventually I actually won. After healing, all that was left was Geomon. His first 3 Pokemon were a joke, but then he sent out his ace, Noctowl, who dealt way too fucking much damage. I was completely ready to let Square die, but the game clearly didn't want that since Glare hit. He couldn't move because paralysis, he used Barrier, and then Hypnosis. I understood it was not Square's time and switched to Mango, who managed to finish the job. After that fucking fiasco, I went to a dojo, and everything was going as expected until the final Black Belt's Baltoy decided to Hiroshima my Mango. Mango was actually like a really good mon, so F in the comments for Mango. As a reward for Mango's death, I got a Weezing named Grape. I picked up Zack and Hiccup from the box to replace the 2 lost members, but then during switch training, Hiccup was against the Togepi with Shadow Tag, and I didn't have any potions. Hiccup put up a pretty good fight, but eventually died. RIP Hiccup, he had huge potential. After that, I remembered that I still hadn't done the 4th gym, so I went there and I wasn't really taking it seriously since my levels were a lot higher than theirs, so I was just kinda leveling up Zack. I go to the leader Erika with the Zack, Square and Ham. Zack beats up her first 2 mons, but then as her last mon, she sends out a fucking Rayquaza. Now, I was kinda cocky and thought Zack could deal with it, but I quickly learned that was not the case. F in the comments for Zack, I guess. After that, Ham dealt with the Rayquaza, and that was the 4th gym. At this point, I only had 3 team members, so I decided to go to Route 12 to possibly catch whatever the Snorlax got randomized to. And holy shit, it's a Totodile. Oh wait, fuck. No, not the fucking Crack. Here's my 4th team member, the Crack. Also, I realized that HM compatibility got kind of fucked, so Crack and Square now no fly. Then I got a Scyther named Chili, who I then also added to the party, and a fucking Metagross named Bucket. And now I have 6 team members. Then I made my way to Fuchsia City, Chili evolved, and I went to Safari Zone, where I failed my catch but got Surf and Strength. After that, I went to the gym with Bucket, Shrimp, Crack and Ham. Koga was a complete goof, like first stage Pokemon embarrassing ass level joke. That was the 5th gym. I then went to get the other Snorlax, which ended up being a Cacturn called Kakao. Then I went to the 6th gym, or I guess this is supposed to be the 5th gym, but I kinda did them out of order. I challenged Sabrina with Chili, Ham, Bucket and Shrimp. Everything goes nicely until I take an unnecessary risk against Sabrina's last Mern, Dodrio, who burns Shrimp with a Tri-Attack, which is just barely enough to kill. Shrimp was a really fucking reliable mon. I'd say she was the MVP. So F in the comments for Shrimp. That was the 6th gym. After that, I went back to Pallet Town and got a Magneton named Clock and a Curlia named Rule 34. Then I made my way to Cinnabar Island. Once there, I found a Pupitar named Melon, and then went into the mansion. I found a Chinchou that I accidentally killed, and then I got the secret key and went to the gym. While clearing out the gym trainers, Kaka went up against a matchup, and in my foolishness, I didn't think matchup could do anything, and well, RIP Kakao. Kind of a shit mon, but still. After clearing rest of the shitheads, I challenged Blaine with Bucket, Crack, Ham, and Square. He had like a Deoxys and a Porygon too, but Bucket still swept his ass. That was the 7th gym. I then decided to get an encounter at Seafoam Islands, and holy shit, he's a Kyogre, and I actually caught it without even using a Master Ball. I named him Boomer. After some time grinding Melon, I realized that unless I want to be over-leveled, she would never even get to evolve, so I gave up on her and picked up Boomer. Then I went to the 8th gym. Now I basically just used this as a place to train Boomer, so yeah, the last gym squad is Boomer, Bucket, Ham, Chili, and Crack. And like, his team wasn't bad, but it also wasn't anything that notable, so yeah, that was the 8th and last gym. Then, on my way to the league, my rival wants another ass beating, so I kindly offer it. Then I make my way to the Victory Road. There I caught a Primeape named Amazon. Everything was going nicely and I was really close to the end when this happened. Fuck me. I actually wasn't like paying any attention and I could have easily saved him, but I didn't. The guilt will live with me for the rest of my life. After that, we made it to the league. Now, I need a new member, and I also need a pretty good amount of levels. I decided to go get some legendary mon, so I went to where Zapdos normally is, and on the way there I found a Cyndaquil named Rat. The Zapdos ended up being a Regice that I Master Balled and named Coffee. Now, I actually preferred the idea of a Typhlosion over Regice, so I went with Rat. And this is what our team looks like after grinding. Boomer, level 48, Chili, level 48, Rat, level 48, Square, level 46, Bucket, level 48, and Crack, level 48. I bought a nice amount of Hyper Potion and Full Heals, and then I challenged Elite Four. The first Elite Four, Lorelei, actually had a fucking scary team, with mons like Lugia, Banette, and Slacking, but I somehow managed thanks to Chili's Sport Dance setup. The second member, Bruno, was a joke. The only scary thing he had was like a Kingler with Guillotine, but it thankfully missed. Third was Agatha, who was even more of a joke because her whole team was weak to Rat and Chili. After that was the fourth member Lance. He started off by giving me a heart attack with using Magic Goat on Rat's Sacred Fire, but it thankfully didn't kill. After that it wasn't too bad until his golem got me in a position where I had to let something die, and since Crack was in at that moment, I decided it was time for him to fall. Crack was a really great mon, F in the comments for Crack. Then all that was left was his ace, me. Everything was going as planned until he landed a critical hit psychic on Chili. Chili was surprisingly really good, like he didn't have any stab moves, but he still put in work. F in the comments for Chili. After that, Bucket managed to deal with me. And then the final battle against my rival. He starts with the Banet, but then switches into Golem. I switch Rat out for Boomer, who then deals with the Golem. After that, he sends out his trusty level 63 Sunflora. I go back into Rat and fuck the flower up. Next he sends in the wounded Banet. I swap in the Bucket, who doesn't really like those fucking Shadow Balls, so I decide to sack Square. Square was a shitmon, I know, but he was also part of the OG team, and he had Glare, which came in handy many times. Oh, and also, he was the mon I used to fly around the region. Sleep well, Flying Serpent. F in the comments for Square. Now, I was kinda fucked here. All my mons were damaged, and this Banet backed a mean Shadow Ball. I sent out Boomer, and he somehow managed to bring it down with an Ice Beam. Then he sends out Sceptile. I let Boomer die to get a safe switching. Boomer was an amazing mon, came in very clutch at the end of the game. He took one for the team. F in the comments for Boomer as well. Bucket dealt with the Sceptile. Next he sent out Explode, who was really fucking annoying with his rest bullshit, but Bucket managed to bring it down as well. Then all that was left was a Politoad. Politoad used Berryshong. I just waited till one turn was left, switched in the Rat, and that was it. It was fucking over. Oak trash talked his grandson a bit, and then I went into the Hall of Fame, and that was Pokemon Leaf Green. Survivors were Rat and Bucket. This was my box, and here are the ones who didn't make it. Thanks for watching, like, comment, subscribe I guess. I'm gonna go back to hibernation now, so see you with another Pokemon thingy, maybe, someday. Bye.